Hello twin flame friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Charlotte with Happy Twins 1111. So we've had quite a few new subscribers this week. So welcome to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. It's lovely to meet you and I can't wait to get acquainted with you. And to all of those of you that have been so loyal to me from the beginning as well, you know who you are. Thank you so much for all your love and support. I set up a Facebook group this week to help you guys network with other twins and connect with your soul group, because we were talking about this in one of my recent videos. And if you're new to this channel, the video I did, not the one I did yesterday, but the one I did on Tuesday this week, it's a collective reading. I talk about my own experience at the beginning of that video, and one of the things I shared with you was, you know, in those really difficult moments, how important it is to have support from other divine feminines. Now, with the greatest will in the world, I can't offer all of you that direct friendship. You know, I will always do my best to answer your emails, but sometimes what you actually need is a proper chat. And, you know, obviously I offer that as a service, that guidance, but that it's not feasible that you have to keep paying someone to get that support. Sometimes you just need a friend, but you need a friend that understands. And with the greatest will in the world, I can't be that person to all of you. So I've set up this Facebook group, which is specifically for networking and mutual support. And the goal of that is so that you can meet like-minded people. You can then connect on WhatsApp, on iMessage, or Messenger or whatever, and you can actually chat. You can make friends. You can support one another in those difficult moments. You really need that. And, you know, you'll all know how difficult it is to try and talk about this journey with people who aren't on it. If they're not a twin flame, they don't understand, and their advice is going to be filtered through their own understanding of 3D relationships, which isn't what you're in. So if you haven't joined that group already, you can find a link to it on my community page, and I will also put it in the description box below for you. So please do go along and, you know, get connected, meet some other DFs and DMs, and reach out, because that support is there for you. Oh, but it's already kicking off. So thank you for those of you who've joined. Thank you for those of you that continue to support my channel and enjoy my readings. It really is such a privilege to serve you and support you. And I wanted to talk to you as well about the kind of readings I do, because today I'm doing a how does he feel reading, or how does your twin feel. I do one of these readings once a week. And I know a lot of other readers do lots more of these types of readings. What's going on? What's he thinking? When's he coming back? Does he miss you? And I never wanted my channel to be like that, because I want the focus to be about you. This is your journey. It's a journey of self-love. It's about coming into union with yourself. But these readings are the most popular. You know, this is what everyone's searching for and looking for. How's he feeling? What's he thinking about me? When's he coming back? Does he miss me? All of that stuff. That's what you guys want. And so it's a real difficult thing for me to balance, because what you want and what you need are two very different things. So I do this reading once a week because I do think it's comforting and reassuring to get that kind of progress update. And especially if there's been no contact for a long time, it's really helpful and comforting to get that kind of update. However, my goal in this journey is to help you as individuals reach surrender and acceptance and union with self. That has to happen before you can have union with your twin anyway. And a lot of you will understand how frustrating it is to read reading after reading that says he's coming, he's on his way, union soon. And of course, that's not going to be true for everybody. It's not going to be true for a lot of us. There is a massive push within a certain wave of the collective at the moment. And I had a really interesting chat with my friends the other night, because someone asked me in one of my student groups, how many waves are there? How do you know which wave you're in? And there's definitely a big energetic surge right now that's driving people towards union, but not everyone will be in that wave. I don't have the answers to those questions yet. I'm still figuring it out, and I'm still chatting with my guides about it. But what I can tell you is there are 7 stages to this journey. Each one corresponds with your chakra. So the first stage is the root chakra. That's the you know, when you realize there's a soul connection with you and that person, you meet and you connect. And most of you are in what I'd describe as the third stage, which is the solar plexus, which is the runner chase, the dynamic. That's the triggering stage where you're being triggered to do all of that healing. Once you move into that surrender and acceptance stage in the heart space, the heart chakra, you're going to feel amazing. You're going to feel at peace. You're going to feel free. You're going to release the need to want to know what's going on with him. You're going to release the need for union. You're going to embrace the journey as your own. And that's what I want to help you guys do. Beyond that, I'm still learning myself, because I haven't got beyond that stage. I'm still in that heart chakra, throat chakra stage, which is about learning to live authentically through the throat chakra, to speak authentically, to speak my truth, and to, being in surrender and acceptance. But this, if I can only get you to this place, which is where I've got, as I say, I'm still learning. So beyond that, who knows what we'll learn together. But to get you to that stage is to get you to a place of peace, where you're not in pain anymore, you're not suffering, you're not missing him and longing for him. Because that's the hardest part, that runner-chaser dynamic, where you're just absolutely in bits and dealing with abandonment, rejection, feelings of loss, and just pain. Okay, no one wants to be stuck there. And by watching tons of readings just like this, and ignoring the ones that focus on your healing, on what triggers you're going through, you're delaying your own progress, you're keeping yourself stuck, okay? So I wanted to bring this up because the readings I do that look at, what's triggering you, what do you need to do to heal, what blockages are you facing, they're less popular. And, that indicates to me that for a lot of you, your focus is in the wrong place. It's on your twin when it needs to be on you. So I hope you can take that in the way that it was intended. It's to support you and to show you love so that you can heal. I want you to be happy. And I could indulge you with these readings all day long. Yeah, I could do them all day long. This is how he's feeling. This is what's going on in his life. This is what he's going to say to you when he comes back. But that doesn't actually serve you to have your focus there. So a lot of people do email me and say, why don't you do more readings about this? Why don't you do more readings about that? I know that's what you want, but right now it's not what you need. Okay, so this is for your own good. And I hope you trust me, because I just want you to be happy. I want you to heal. I want you to move into surrender and acceptance, which is where I've been. And I've had a really rough couple of weeks. If you go back and watch my video from Tuesday, you'll understand. But I'm back in a good place. And it's turned around so quickly for me, because I've learned how to heal those triggers. And this is what I'm trying to teach you guys, so you can be happy too. We're still gonna, we're still gonna be triggered. We're still gonna find ourselves suffering in moments, but we don't have to stay there. So if you're finding you're stuck there, please, I beg you, go and watch my videos that focus on healing, triggers, blockages, all that stuff. This stuff's nice, but it's just a little comfort to check in while, every now and then. Okay, so we're gonna find out today anyway. How is feeling? What was he thinking? And what do you need to do to move forward for his highest good and for your highest good? So as usual, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below which pile you choose and what resonates. If you feel drawn to more than one pile, that is okay. I've started using the thumbnails of the pile pictures again because everyone's told me that's more useful. So you can go and look at the thumbnail and choose a pile, but I've also got in the article description box below the timestamps for each pile and what crystals are on top. But very quickly, we've got the Moonchild with a shimmer moonstone. We've got the Ethereal Tarot with Himalayan Quartz. We've got the Star Child with Amazonite. And we've got the Lunar Soul with Rainbow Fluorite. So let's go. Pile 1. How is he thinking? What's he feeling? What's he feeling about you at the moment? How's he feeling about the connection? What's he thinking? We'll do a little what you can expect from him moving forward as well. And then we're going to get guidance from my guides in terms of, through the cards. Arthur's always with me. And for those of you that are new to my channel, I work with a guide called Arthur. As I've developed my mediumship skills, I don't have to literally pause to listen to Arthur. It's called inspired thought. So if I stop and ask Arthur a question, he just says, keep talking. And so I do. But he is still with me for those of you that keep saying, where's Arthur? Because I used to really pause to channel him, and I don't need to do that anymore, but he's still with us. So I'm just going to make a bit more room. Pile 1, what's he feeling? So we've got Death reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed, the Two of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Wands reversed. What's he? Wow. I did a reading last night for myself and I swear down these are the same cards. It's mad. Wow. My friends who I actually took a picture of my reading last night and discussed this with them, so they're going to understand. This is crazy. Wow. Okay. So how is he feeling? We've got Death reversed, we've got the Queen of Cups reversed, we've got Two of Wands reversed, and we've got the Knight of Wands reversed. And that's clarified by Knight of Cups reversed, King of Pentacles reversed, the Moonchild reversed, which is a card unique to this deck, and the Ace of Cups upright. So for Death reversed, this is, this is, if you've chosen this path, your divine masculine is probably being triggered very hard to confront his awakening. He could have been in a dark night of the soul, but this Death reverse, death is about releasing ego. It's about accepting that an old cycle is over and that you have to start over in a new way. You have to face that change. And when it's reversed, there's a refusal to face that change. You can see in this Death card that we've got the butterfly here, crown at the top, and the moth. They're symbols of transformation. And, you can see that this person looks positively ecstatic by that transformation. The snakes represent a new cycle, something new being created. But with this card reversed, there is a tremendous amount of resistance for that stage, for that cycle. They don't want to change. They don't want to face what is happening. So, this person is being triggered very, very hard, and they're resisting. They're resisting. They're refusing to acknowledge what is. And there's definitely a karmic involved here, because under this one, we've got the Knight of Cups reversed, which is Pisces. If you're Piscean as well, this could represent literally you. But they're rejecting a romantic offer. They're rejecting this change. And it's linked to your connection. So your connection with them has triggered this dynamic, this change, and they're not accepting it. They're resisting it. The Queen of Cups is Cancer, and this is reversed. And I feel like they're not just rejecting your offer, they're rejecting all offers. But this Queen of Cups, this karmic he's with, this Cancerian, makes him feel like a king. We've got the King of Pentacles here. Even though that relationship may be toxic in many ways, it also props up his ego, okay? Chances are that he feels smarter than her. Somehow he feels that because he's better than her, he's more powerful in that relationship. He has more control. That's what this King of Pentacles energy means. But, the relationship with you makes him feel lesser because his ego is being challenged. It's being challenged to break. So, you're getting more of that energy of he doesn't feel good enough. With the ex or the karmic, there's a feeling of being powerful and in control because he feels better than that person. There's an air of superiority. But with with you, the connection with you, the feeling is one of worthlessness and not being good enough. So it's very hard to leave that codependent connection when it's actually meeting the needs of your ego. And that's where he's stuck right now. And he doesn't want to make a decision. He doesn't want to address his intuition. That's what we have with this Two of Wands reversed and this Moonchild card reversed. He's not ready to face his intuition and to face those triggers. And this is, clarified here with this Knight of Wands in reverse. He's not ready to grasp that wand. It's too emotional. Okay? Self-love is the goal. That's what the Ace of Cups is about. But he's not ready to do that. He's not ready to face that. He's still trapped in this overwhelming emotion because he's being triggered hard and he's resisting those changes. So in terms of how he's feeling, he's not feeling good enough for you and he's still running from this connection. He needs time. He needs time to process his ego, to allow it to break down. He needs time to release it. And until he does that, he's going to run from you. He's not going to be coming forward with any offers. Okay? And this situation with the karmic, and this card's actually got a triangle on it, love triangle. You've got to trust that it serves him. It serves him. He's got to learn for himself. He's got to reach that conclusion himself that feeling powerful and superior in a relationship isn't necessarily a good thing. But in order to transmute that feeling, he's got to develop self-love and self-worth, because at the moment he doesn't feel even equal to you. Yeah? He feels powerful in being superior. That's not an option with you. You're more evolved than him, certainly emotionally, but he's also looking at you through the 3D paradigm of his ego. And, you know, there's probably an age gap here as well. You might be more stable financially, you know, you might be more successful in lots of ways. And to a man, to accept a woman who appears to be superior to him in those ways is really hard for the ego, because it's their natural instinct to be the winner, the provider, you know, to be the stronger person in that interaction. What they need to learn when they release ego is that none of those things matter. They're not true representations of strength. Real strength is in that compassionate, stable, loving heart. The real strength is self-love. It's the understanding that anything outside of you has nothing to do with your real feeling of self-worth. And it's not safe to get our self-worth from things outside of us, because they can be taken away. They're not within the boundaries of our control. The only thing you have control of, truly, is how you choose to feel about yourself. If all of your self-worth is in what car you drive, what job you have, where, you know, what fancy postcode or zip code you live in, or, you know, how others perceive you, that's ego. Because none of that is real, it's illusion, and it can be removed at any minute. So if you got made redundant from your amazing 200 grand a year salary job, does that mean you're going to feel worthless again because you don't have a job? That's not a safe place to be. So this is what awakening teaches us. It teaches us that the ego, which makes us feel strong, is actually an illusion. It's a trap. It's never safe. You can't pin your feelings of self-worth on another person, your circumstances, or material gains or needs. You can't. Yeah, when we strip bare, when every single one of us stands in an empty room with no clothes, no accessories, we are who we are. We're not our job. We're not the designer clothes we wear. We're not the car we drive. Those are transient, irrelevant things. But ego tells us it makes us good, because it makes other people perceive us as good. Oh wow, look at that guy, he's really successful, he's got an amazing car, and he lives in a big house. Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. You can't judge people by what they have. But that's where we get our self-worth from the approval from others, from the feeling that we're doing what we're socially conditioned to believe is right and good. And this guy's very trapped right now in that ego state. And he's trapped in the karmic connection because that massages his ego. It makes him feel strong. It makes him feel powerful. So let's see what he's thinking about you. So we've got the Two of Pentacles reversed. He's rejecting the connection. We've got Six of Wands reversed as well. We've got the Five of Pentacles reversed. And we've got the Seven of Swords. So he's rejecting the connection. You know, he's not ready to face it. He's probably buried it deep. He's trying his very hardest not to think about it. You know, he doesn't feel like he can be successful in that connection. And there's a lot of guilt and shame associated with leaving you out in the cold, but actually he feels left out in the cold as well. But there is something he's not telling you. We've got the Seven of Swords here, you know, which is that sneaky, deceitful kind of energy. And yeah, there's something he's not telling you. It might not be a case of he's lied, but he's holding back. This came up in yesterday's reading in one of the piles, I'm sure. But he's holding back, you know, he's thinking that this can't go anywhere. And it might be a case that this is something you've not told him that he's upset about, you know, that he feels betrayed. But he's very confused and he has no faith or optimism right now in this connection. Again, you mustn't internalize this. This isn't about you. This is about him and this ego state he's in. And you have to trust that he needs the time to work through this. But right now he is not at all invested in this connection. This Two of Pentacles to me is the twin card. And, you know, this is a mirror image of two people, and it's reversed. Okay, he's not invested. He doesn't believe he can be victorious, but he's not feeling great about his karmic connection either. This Six of Wands is coming up over that connection, and he's not feeling victorious in that either. He feels like he's fucked it up all round, to be fair. Shit, I saw again. They demonetised my videos when I swear. I need to stop doing that. So Five of Pentacles reversed is about being left out in the cold. And I think he's aware that in not making a decision, we've got two twos reversed here, in avoiding this situation, that actually it does make him feel bad as well. There's shame attached to that because he's probably rejected you, ignored you, blanked you, all of those things which they do. But there is a betrayal here of some sort. There's someone's not telling the truth, someone's not speaking their truth. That's either you or him. Right, so what do you need to do? Actually, let's see what how's he going to move forward. What forward motion or what action can you expect from him in the near future? Wow, we've got the Empress. We've got the Ten of Wands. We've got the Nine of Swords. And we've got the Moons. This is very positive because more or less all of these cards here, as you can see, have all come up reversed. You know, there's a lot of blocked energy there. There's a lot of denial. There's a lot of resistance. But here, and this row again, which I believe represents you in this twin flame connection, is the Empress. He's recognizing that divine connection. He's moving towards the idea of, I've got to face this. And he's prepared to do that work. You know, that Ten of Wands is completion, and coming up over this karmic situation. For me, this is a resolution. This is a completion, closing out that karmic cycle. The Nine of Swords is the card of anxiety, though. So, you know, once he comes to terms with this and begins to allow the breaking down of the ego, he closes out that karmic cycle and releases the karmic, the ex, or the current partner. He's going to be left feeling pretty alone because he won't have you, he won't have her, and he's going to be on his own, left out in the cold. You know, but nines precede tens, which is healing, which is completion. The Ten of Swords is about that final stab that's going to hurt before you heal. So even though this is going to burn and he's going to go through a period, a dark night, he's going to go through a period of intense anxiety and pain when he finally allows that ego to break and releases that karmic cycle. But we see him moving on to the moon, and there's a lot of Pisces energy in the moon. There's a lot of water energy in this readings. We've got Cancer, Pisces. You know, the moon is about embracing what is, about taking those steps in the dark, releasing fear. And, you know, your intuition, following your intuition is tough because intuition is more like a guiding radar. It doesn't necessarily say this is what's going to happen. What it says is do this and it will be okay, but you have to trust in that. And what we see here is that progression of him beginning to trust his instinct, beginning to take those steps in the dark, even though he doesn't know what's coming, to trust. And again, in this moon, there are a lot of mirror images. You've got this polarity of light and dark, the white wolf, the black wolf. You've got these birds, these spiritual messengers, the ram, which is that driven energy. And then this very intuitive feminine energy at the top. And of course, the light and dark and those cycles. So, you know, this is really about trusting the emotional body. There's a lot of water in this card. So this is Pisces energy. So this is positive, guys, but it's going to require your patience. And this word patience comes up a lot. My guides are constantly reminding me, and virtually every reading I do at the moment is be patient, because these energies at the moment are really driving forward triggers to force us to heal, you know, to drive us forward, to help us ascend. We all have free will, including our DMs, so they can resist those triggers if they want. They have to do it in their own time. They'll keep being triggered, They have to do it. But actually, if you've chosen this pile, I do see him making progress. I see him closing out that karmic cycle, accepting what is with you. Even if he may not reach out straight away, there's going to be an element of realization and acceptance about what is. So let's get some oracle cards as well. So what energies is he in at the moment? It's very close to achieving his goal, gibbous moon. And wow, here's the Lion again. This Lion comes out in so many readings at the moment. Remember, we're hurtling towards Lionsgate. This is a dramatic energetic shift in our annual calendar this year. That's really powerful. You know, moving forward, getting close to the goal and releasing pride, trusting. This is trust. And these are moon cards, yeah? So this is very positive. Those are the energies he's in. He knows he's got to fix this. He's resisting, he's struggling, he's very confused right now. But he is going to move forward. He knows it's got to change. He knows he can't carry on like this. What do you need to do to move forward? Deep knowing. New life. Unfinished symphony. And breathe. So for me, especially with this moon card and this eagle here, which we were talking about on this moon card, you know, this is about tapping into your own intuition. And I want to really repeat what I said in this card about what he's moving towards doing, which is trusting despite not having the full picture. Trusting your instincts that it's going to be okay and that you don't have to have all of the information. Yeah, knowing is a feeling. It's not information. It's a feeling of everything's going to be okay. I don't know how this is going to work out. I just know it's going to be okay. And you're being asked to tap into that deep knowing, to trust the messages from spirit, which is what the eagles represent, to trust that that connection helps you tap into that knowing and wisdom. Okay, this is where you're going to find peace. And 4 and 3 adds up to 7. We've also got here new life. And 3 and 9, 12 is 3. This is about creation. This is about creating a new way forward. And she's breaking out of this egg. She is reborn. This is about rebirth. This is about transforming self. You've got to embrace that healing, okay? You've got to trust in your own intuition and start moving forward to create an abundant, new, happy, peaceful life for yourself without him. That's when he will come back. That's when union can become possible, when you're in union with self and you're satisfied. Because this isn't over. You know, we've got unfinished symphony. And this comes out over this 9 of Swords energy for him as well. You know, trust that it's not over. Okay? He's always going to come back like a boomerang. But you have to have faith in completion. You have to have faith in those cycles moving and coming to fruition. And you've got to breathe. This is a 9 and 2 card, 11. This is about meditation. And I know this is what I bang on about all the time. I'm not going to apologise. If you get sick of me going on about heal yourself, love yourself, a lot of people say, well, that's easy for you to say. How do I do that? It's just not that easy. I acknowledge it's easier said than done, but it's possible. I've done it. If I can do it, you can do it. We can all do this. We all have this power to heal self. And you can run from that for as long as you like. You can tell yourself it's hard, but this is what's going to bring you peace. And this is card number 11, connecting with your divine inner power, connecting with the love inside of you. You do that through meditation. I've got a ton of videos about healing self and meditations. Go find them. They'll help you. It's the way forward, people. It really is, I promise you. Okay, what else have we got for you, Divine Feminine? How can you mother yourself? Retreat, rest, be held. Answer your call. What is your soul calling? What is your soul calling you to do? How can you mother yourself? How can you love yourself? I put a post up yesterday about this. How to love yourself. How would you love your best friend? Yeah, go and read that post on my community page. You give them time, affection and attention. You've got to do that for you. You've got to mother yourself. Retreat, rest, be held. This resonates with that meditation card. deep replenishment. Hold yourself and answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Now, if there's something that you've been trying to make a decision about that doesn't pertain to this journey, it could be signing up to a course, changing jobs, moving towns, or embracing an invitation or to an event, an opportunity which you've been dithering about, but that keeps triggering you. You keep getting syncs that point you back to it. Do it. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Stop resisting. There's something you're resisting. I don't know what it is, but there's something you're resisting. And you'll know what it is. You don't need me to tell you what it is. It's something that, an opportunity which keeps being presented to you, or an idea that you keep dismissing. Answer the call. And then we've got Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. You have to trust in the divine. You have to trust it. I'm so sorry. That's Gretel. Stop it. Bear with me. I'm just going to quiet her. What's your problem? And since she's introduced herself today, since Gretel has introduced herself, I'm going to show her to you because this is the smallest dog in the world. She's 3 pounds. Hey, hello, Gretel. Yay. So that's who was interrupting us just now. I do apologise. So you have to trust in divine timing. You have to trust that everything is working out. Gretel, shh, stop it. Everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to. You've got to stop resisting the journey. If you're thinking, God, I wish it wasn't like this, you're not allowing things to unfold as they need to. Even when it doesn't feel good, there's always a lesson in that. If you're feeling pain and you're being triggered to heal. Listen to that call. Stop ignoring it. When you're feeling pain, ask yourself, why am I feeling this pain? What do I need to know about this emotion? What is it trying to teach me? By sitting with it, you're going to help transmute that pain into joy, because when you listen to your higher self, when you listen to the divine, you're going to get answers. Those answers will bring you clarity, and that clarity will bring you healing. That's how it works. It's a beautiful process. Like me, you will become completely enamoured with it when you dedicate yourself to it. I promise. So part 1, overall, this is positive. There is progress there. Your DM's making progress. It's you that's got to make that progress now, and you've got to be patient with him and with yourself. I hope that helped. Right. Pile 2. Let's see what's going down. Oh, it's really flowing so nicely today. Even when I watch my own readings back, I can get a sense for the different energy. I'm sure you guys can as well. Sometimes it's kind of calm and reflective, and sometimes it just rushes out at 1,000,000 miles an hour, which is where I'm feeling today. It's just like, it's a bit more intense, and it flows in a slightly more forceful way, which is, to be honest with you, that's when I get the most downvotes. I feel like that's when I deliver the most hard truths, because I'm not as measured in my response. But I'm not the reader here, remember that. My guide's the readers. I'm just the instrument, the messenger. So they dictate the pace. Obviously my energy is going to interfere with that sometimes, but right, how's he feeling? We've got 3 of Cups, King of Pence, 9 of Swords, Death reversed. It's very similar to the last lineup. 6 of Wands, Queen of Pence reversed, Knight of Pence reversed. So similar to the last pile. And the 7 of Cups reversed. Wow. Okay. How is he feeling? I feel like if you've chosen this pile, there's actually a progression here from the last one. Because this divine masculine, this twin, he's in a similar energy in terms of rejecting that ego death. He's not allowing that, and he's being triggered very hard. We've got the 9 of Swords upright here. And you can see in this card, there's a woman looking pretty traumatised with all of these kind of dark entities and, You know, these are a metaphor for dark thoughts and tormented dreams. It's the card of anxiety and worry and inner turmoil. But it's occurring because he's resisting that ego death. He's clinging on to this 3D ego-based viewpoint he has of himself with this Queen of Pentacles, because he needs to feel more powerful than you. And it's his ego that makes him feel powerful and in control. Yeah? But this torment, this anxiety which he's holding on to with his ego, is actually what's stopping him from moving forward, because the Knight of Pentacles upright is about making plans, about creating a way forward. And he's very measured and diligent and kind of slow to do that, but he's the one that makes sturdy, stable, secure plans, because he puts so much thought into it, and he does it from a very grounded, balanced place. But this is reversed, and it's coming up under the Nine of Swords. His anxiety is blocking him from seeing a forward path. And, you know, with this karmic situation with him, there is one here, there's a third party. He kind of feels quite victorious about that. He feels like he's juggling the two of you quite well. Or that he's, you know, there's a feeling of smugness that he's not had to address this. For some of you, it could, you know, it may not be that. For some of you, it may be that actually he feels quite satisfied in his ego state with how things are. He's not seeing where this anxiety is coming from. It's almost like pulling the wool over his own eyes. But with the Seven of Cups under this Death card, you know, there is this feeling of just not wanting to make a decision, not seeing ego death as an option, not seeing awakening as an option. You know, they're not going to consciously understand the term ego death. They're not going to have had any thoughts about that. But what they're resisting is facing their self. They're resisting facing their shadow self. They're clinging on to these ideas of superiority, because it's what empowers them and keeps them safe. But it also keeps them stuck. So, you know, his feelings for you right now are probably simmering under the surface. I don't feel like he's confronting them, because these, you know, I mean, the question was, how is he feeling? We weren't specific as how he's feeling about you. We're going to ask that in a moment. But they're simmering under the surface. He's very focused on his 3D reality right now. So how is he thinking and feeling about you? Wow. He's not seeing you as an option, if I'm really honest. He's rejecting that connection. He wants to move forward. He wants to make that transition. But he knows there's work to do before he can do that. And at the moment he can't, through his anxiety, he can't see the wood for the trees. He can't see what work that is. It feels impossible. So he buries it instead. He doesn't think about it. And with the Ace of Wands reversed, he's rejecting the spiritual nature of the connection. He's refusing to see. Okay, it's too unstable. It makes him feel unstable. It makes him feel crazy. So he's not focused on you. He's rejecting this connection. He knows he needs to change. He knows he needs to move forward, but he doesn't know how. He knows he's going to have to invest himself to be able to make change. But at the moment, he's so focused on, I can't change until I have a plan. That's what his anxiety tells him, that he's not actually doing anything. No? In this card, this guy is holding the tool, but he's got his back to you and he's looking away, and he's not actually active. He's not doing anything. He's resting. He's thinking. He's plotting. You know, the Eight of Pentacles is a progression of this card, which is work. This is laying the foundations for work. So he's still thinking about this, but he doesn't have a plan, and he's thinking about it. He's seeing it through his anxiety and his ego. So he doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan for you. He knows he needs to change. He wants to move towards you. But there's fear here. There's so many other things. And again, don't internalize this. Don't personalize it. It's not about you. It's about him and how he feels about himself. So what can you expect in terms of action from him. Wow. Let's get one more. So we've got the Hanged Man in this row, which is beautiful. This is surrendering to a new perspective. Okay? And followed by the King of Wands. To me, this is surrendering to ego death. This is surrendering to spirit, to embracing spirit rather than ego, which is the King of Pentacles energy of, you know, that 3D, whereas King of Wands is the 5D, it's the spiritual stuff. And there's 2 lions on here. Okay, we keep saying about Lionsgate, all this lion energy at the moment. For me, this is him stepping into his power, surrendering to what is, surrendering to the connection, surrendering to spirit. It's followed by the 5 of Wands, which is, for me, you can see upright, this is a ton of guys playfully fighting. This is mind games. This is games. This is being, you know, not honest, not authentic, but he's releasing that energy. And with the 6 of Cups reversed, this is closing out karmic cycles. This is, you know, this is divine timing stepping in so that ego death, that awakening can happen. So again, a fairly positive outcome, I feel. But again, this is coming up in every pile recently. You've got to be patient. You've got to allow him the time to work through this, to work on himself, to reach these conclusions and realizations on his own. See what energy he's in at the moment. And these moon cards. Balance, spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces. A personal issue reaches resolution, full moon in Cancer. So that's closing out karmic cycles. And for balancing spirituality and practicality, we've got the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Practical, spiritual. That's beautiful, affirming energies there. With this Pisces Cancer energy as well. That's really lovely. This is very emotional. You know, these are emotional issues that have been holding him back that he's going to learn to balance and to close out that cycle, to reach a resolution. So let's see what you need to do to move forward. Higher power, blessed, happy, and poised. So higher power is obviously about your connection to the divine. And I don't know if you can see this, but this lady, she's got her crown chakra open and there's a key here. You know, and the message here is really that this is the key to your healing, that the divine is inside of you. You can just see this suggestion of a face within her body, in her heart space. And number 4, of course, is the number of balance. So you've got to surrender to this. And if this is also a 4, and if you've been feeling, this is also a 4. If you've been feeling resentful for this journey, and I can relate to this energy, this is where I was, you know, a week or so ago, well, probably at the beginning of this week, when I was raging and angry and just, you know, I'm not going to swear, sorry. Stuff this journey, I don't want to do it anymore. You need to get out of that energy and you need to remember and soothe yourself and bring yourself back round through your connection to the divine, that actually this is a beautiful journey, you're blessed, because it's going to bring you joy, it's going to bring you happiness when you surrender to that higher power. You know, self-union is the gift in itself. Union with a twin is just icing on the cake. It's not necessary. When you get into union with self, you realise this. So you need to start counting your blessings. You need to be grateful for the triggers, for the lessons, however hard they are. Once you change your attitude and belief towards the journey, once you change your mindset, you'll change how you feel about it. And it will all start to get easier. And, you know, you can be happy. You can be happy. There's an egg here with a keyhole in it, you know, creating A new mindset, a new positive attitude is the key to happiness. Okay, and this, she's up in the sky. Air represents thoughts. This is about changing your thoughts, understanding that by giving birth to new thoughts, this is the key to your joy. So if, get control of that voice in your head that's always telling you, this won't work, I miss him so much, he's never coming back, he probably doesn't even like me, this journey sucks. It's, you need to quiet that voice in your head, and you need to be poised and ready, because change is happening. 8 and 4 is 11, and this card's poised. You need to be ready. You need to be ready. You've got to be in union with self before you can be in union with him. And if he's closing out karmic cycles and going through this own, process of awakening and facing his own ego death, you can help move that along by doing it for yourself, by surrendering it to yourself. You both have to be in union with self. See what else you need to do to move forward. Devotion, tune into the portal of your heart, inner temple. This is coming up over that higher power card. Tune into the portal of your heart. I'm really drawn as well to this mirror image of here. This is twins. Yeah? This is how you tune into him. If you're missing him, just go within. That's where you can send and receive love from his higher self. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. And this is coming up over that blessed card. This is about, transmuting those negative thoughts, which creates a negative vibe for you. It lowers your vibration. The more negative you are, the more you're lowering your own vibration. You want to raise your vibration. You've got to do something positive to change your energy. This dance with life suggests, embracing more opportunities, getting out there, creating positive change. That's what this happy, happy card showed us as well. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? So again, going back to this happy, happy, changing thoughts, and this card came up in this pile. There are a lot of syncs actually with the other pile. Go and watch it if this one resonates. I put a post on my community page about this yesterday. How do you mother yourself? You give yourself all the love you would give your best friend or your child. You be kind to yourself. You make time for yourself. You soothe yourself. You talk kindly to yourself. You've got to learn to do that. It's the key to your joy. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So this is saying, get into your power. Be poised and ready. Trust that you are the oracle. That you're this beautiful light being with beautiful energy. And again, there are so many mirror images on this card. This is a mirror image. It's completely symmetrical and mirrored on each opposite. This is about coming into balanced union. You've got this beautiful light, this channel of light that this lady is stood in. You're a natural light worker, a pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. Trust in the journey. Step into your divine power. Tune into the portal of your heart. Be devoted to this part of the journey, your spirituality. Be devoted to union with self. I really hope that helped, Party. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell me down below what you felt, how it resonated. Always love to get your feedback. Of course, if you want to get a private reading from me, you can find information about that in the description box below. Okay. I'm so annoyed I swore. They do. YouTube demonetizes my video if I swear. And unfortunately, I really love the F word. It's the most versatile word, isn't it? Definitely the worst one I can say. On YouTube, at least. Right, pile 3. What have we got for you? How's he feeling? Let's have a look, see. Keep those. How is he feeling? Get some clarifiers. Oh, this is lovely. This is really powerful. Also, I know one of my friends is going to choose this pile. I'm going to ask her afterwards which one she chose. I know she's going to choose this one. He knows he needs to make that transition, but he's resisting it right now. He needs to make a transition towards self-healing. But right now with this, we've got 6 of Swords reversed here and 5 of Swords. He's so conflicted. He's so conflicted. Look at this person. They're holding their hands out. They're like this. What do I do? Please tell me. And they're probably reaching out to you for a lot of guidance and support right now, because we've got the Knight of Wands here. You know, this is grasping the wand, grasping spirit. This is coming to the conclusion that maybe I have got some light inside of me and that I need to self-heal. This is the Hermit energy, Serenity. This is a 9. And, you know, I'm really drawn to this strawberry moon, which we've just had. So it could be that this strawberry moon has triggered them in this way. And there's a dark night here. The strawberry moon's, you know, pushing them out of it, pushing them towards awakening. But they know, it's like they know now they need to move forward. They've logically speaking accepted that they need to heal. But there's a lot of conflict and confusion still. And this is, you know, we've got 8 of Swords here. This is self-entrapment. This is feeling like they don't know the way out. That they've turned these thoughts around so much in their head that they've almost bound themselves in confusion. So they're reaching to you, Divine Feminine, for that clarity. So chances are, if you've picked this path, there probably is communication between you. They're reaching out to you for that support. And they want to be your king. We've got the Queen of Spirit and the King of Spirit here, Queen, King of Wands. Yeah, they want to trust. But they don't quite believe that's possible yet with the Star reversed. They're not feeling that hope and optimism. They're still wrapped up in this desire and knowing that they need to move forward, that it feels right, but not trusting it and not trusting the journey, and certainly willing to be open-minded about the spirituality, but still very confused by it, looking to you for guidance. Yeah, wanting to be your equal, wanting to embrace the spiritual connection between you. So this is actually quite a positive lineup for how he's feeling. I know it's perhaps not what you ideally want, but I'm also getting a great deal of acceptance from the feminine energy in this, that she knows and she's patient, she's passive, she's able to guide him because she's standing in her own power and not desperately trying to drag him forward. She knows that she's got to be patient. And that's what he needs right now, because he's coming round to this. He is. You know, he's finding his way forward with it. He's starting to open up to what he needs. He just doesn't believe that's possible yet. And he's afraid of what that might mean between you. We've got the 10 of Cups reversed here. And I feel like, that's that kind of idealistic view of, I really want a happily ever after. But with all this conflicting sword energy, but, I don't deserve that. And it's not even a conscious thing. That I don't deserve it is expressed through their ego fear. So he won't literally say to himself, I don't deserve that. He'll just convince himself it can't happen. He'll put 1,000,001 negative blocks in the way. And we've got this 2 of Pentacles reversed here as well. So, there is a lot of fear. He's almost more drawn to the spiritual aspect of this connection right now than he is the romantic one. And he knows that there's some kind of higher spiritual meaning or karma related to this connection. But he's thinking it can't ever work. And, don't be disheartened by this, because it might feel at the moment a bit like he's using you. Like he just wants to heal. You've got all this healing power and he wants to learn about it. And he's really magnetized to you because of that. But he may not be expressing the romantic, flirty, loving, kind of affectionate emotion that you want. And we've got 10 of Wands here as well reversed. He's a little afraid. He's afraid. He wants this, but again, there's a lot of fear here between what he wants and what he thinks is achievable. But he knows that you've got this power and he wants a piece of it. He's inspired by how you've healed. He's inspired by your ability to heal, and he wants to heal. So he may be looking to you for that guidance and support, and it may not feel like an equal give and take. You may be frustrated that there's contact and communication, but it's very centered on him, his needs, and that he's not being particularly loving, affectionate, or giving much back. But I feel like you're coping quite well with that. I'm going to keep these because 2 more came out. Yeah, so we've got Page of Cups and Page of Crystals. You know, what he's offering or presenting to you in his communication probably feels really, well, I mean, on a scale of 1 to 4, 4 being handing you commitment on a plate with love and abundance, the Page is number 1. You know, that's the most basic offer he can make. He's giving as little as possible. It may appear like quite a selfish energy, but a lot of it is born of this self-doubt and confusion. So again, don't internalise this or take it personally. You know, because there are feelings there, they're very deep feelings, but that lack of self-worth is what's crippling his ability to have faith and hope in the possibility of an actual committed, happy, devoted relationship. He's not there yet. He can't see past his own fear. So let's see what you need to do to move forward. We've got Yang, we've got Unfinished Symphony, we've got Deep Knowing. A lot of these same cards came out for these 2 parts, and we've got Soulmates. So, you know, Yang is the masculine energy, and this is number 1. This is the number of the magician. This is about realising that you've got the power in your hands. Fire represents spirit power. But with it representing masculine energy right now, I think, given that he's coming to you for this spiritual guidance, for me this is a powerful reminder that it's okay to offer him that and share that with him. It's okay to help him embody that masculine energy. It's okay to help him right now. You know, I'm always very cautious about saying help him, he needs your support, he needs your help. They've got to help themselves. To do anything other than that is codependency. But we all need a leg up sometimes. And for me, this is about saying trust that you've got all the tools and skills. He's got them too, but he needs that reassurance from you to embrace his masculine energy. And that, you know, this cycle is fast forwarding towards completion. We had that karmic card there. You know, it's not over. Don't allow the doubt to get to you. Unfinished Symphony, you know. And a symphony is beautiful. This lady's sitting on an egg. She's in the middle of the cycle, but she's sitting on the egg, which is a symbol of change. And you've got a face here, the divine represented in a face within the egg. And you've got Deep Knowing, which is 4 and 3 is the number 7. This card came up for par 1. You know, trust in your intuition. Trust in the messages from spirit that are represented by this hawk or eagle. Trust that deep knowing. This is where you're going to find peace. Trust in the connection. You know, penguins mate for life. This is the soulmate. This is the real deal. That's the key to everything, to real love. And you don't have to have that now. Okay? Spiritual union happens in the 5D. Physical union's irrelevant. It may come to you, it may not, but it's not the goal. The goal is spiritual union. The goal is for you to be spiritually aligned, and for him too. To be in full possession of your soul, to be madly in love with self. When that happens, you come into 5D union with your twin, and you can see that he has the key to the other penguin's heart. You know, you each have the key to the other's heart. I mean, it seems inevitable that if you come into spiritual union, a 3D union will follow. But I think this card has been very focused on spirituality and allowing your twin to make his own journey and supporting him in that, but also giving him the freedom to explore it and trusting that serves you both, that's more worthwhile than focusing on cultivating romance, to be frank. It really is. The Age of Light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. Trust. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. And Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? So these are very powerful cards. You know, the Age of Light, we've got all this fire energy here, this light energy. You've been training for this for lifetimes. That's what the magician teaches us. You've already got everything you need to succeed. That wisdom is buried deep inside of your psyche, in your subconscious, in your soul's history, your Akashic records. Trust that you're this beautiful light being, and you can help him find his own light. And healing others heals us. When you heal someone else, you heal self. So it's win-win. Pleiades, double mission. Channeling and uplifting humanity. You know, for a lot of twins, it's not just about learning self-love and following this mission for yourself. When you learn self-love, you will teach it to others. You will find that you have a deep, undeniable yearning to do just that. Like I have. When I developed that self-love and that joy inside me, I was so desperate to share it with others. That's why I'm here. Yeah, I want other people to feel this good. I've touched it, and I desperately want to share it. And this is where you're going to find a lot of joy as well. Trust that you're moving towards a beautiful place. Your guidance is divinely guided. Trust in that deep knowing. Yeah, you are divinely guiding. If you can't hear your guides or see them, don't worry about it. When you get an instinct about how to move forward, you know, take it, accept it. And with where you've been called to journey to, it's quite possible that this is a literal suggestion. If you've been invited on a trip, if you're thinking of moving away, traveling, it may not be an inner journey. It could be an inner journey for some of you, but I'm really guided to say that there is some kind of physical journey that you could be taking right now that's it's gonna somehow enhance your understanding, clarity, and knowing. It's going to open doors for you. It's going to introduce you to important members of your soul tribe. It's going to help you shift energy. For some of you, this may mean an inner journey. This is about meditation and going within to connect with the divine. But for some of you, there's definitely a journey indicated. So thank you, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Do comment down below. And if you'd like a private reading from me, you can find information about that in the description box as well. So I will see you next time. All right, let's shake a leg with pile 4. I'm just seeing what the time is. Okay, I don't read with reversals in this deck. This is the Lunar Soul Tarot. It's one of my favourites. In fact, if you're a beginner to tarot, it's always best to start with a Rider-Waite base deck. I may actually do some tarot classes. Is anyone interested in that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments, because I think a tarot class, and I warn you, it's not very easy to read for yourself, but the more of you can read, the more of you can do readings for one another, especially in those like support groups and stuff. You know, it's all well and good coming to readers like me, but it's just not affordable to do that all that frequently, is it? You've got to balance. So, you know, learning yourself will be a tremendous asset. You can swap readings with your buddies. I don't really read for myself. I try to sometimes. It's not always easy to do. But I do reading swaps with my friends. And you can too. So if you'd like a tarot class, let me know. But this is a beautiful deck for beginners, because the images are traditional Rider-Waite, but they're pretty. It's a very pretty deck, as you'll see as I turn cards over. So how is he feeling about the connection? Wow, so many syncs in these readings this week, guys. It's crazy. We're definitely seeing patterns. It's quite incredible. This is lovely. Okay. So I feel like he has probably, you know, with this 9 of Cups, this is a feeling of kind of inner peace, balance and achievement. And with this, you've got this blooming of the lotus flower that this masculine is sat within. He's in his own sun power, the masculine energy. is within that lotus flower. This is a very self-satisfied, self-fulfilling energy of achievement. And I feel this was born out of him starting over. This is probably quite a highly evolved divine masculine. I feel like he's been healing. He's been doing work on himself. He's responded to those triggers that we see with this tower. You know, he's allowed the crumbling of the old to make way for the new. And with this King of Swords, he's speaking his truth. He's probably speaking his truth about his past, though. With this King of Swords, I can't help but notice he's looking into the past. But that's transforming his perspective in itself with that butterfly that crowns the sword of truth. So he's in a much more stable mindset in which he can, you know, have a great deal of clarity about how he's come to be where he is. And he's feeling much more stable and abundant as a result of this. However, he's still trapped in this karmic situation, and he does feel trapped. And it's self-entrapment, of course it is, because it's his refusal to address that situation. His refusal to make necessary changes so that he can move forward. So, you know, he may have done a lot of inner healing to help feel good about himself, to heal a lot of old inner child wounding, to get himself back into a balanced and stable place emotionally. But he knows now that the next step is to resolve this love triangle. And he doesn't want to face that. He's got his blindfold on, he's trapped by his own confusion and indecision. And the fear of hurting his partner or of hurting you. You know, he can't give to both of you in equal measure. He knows that. So this is where his pain is. You know, that, and also there's an element of the reason this is so hard for him is because he doesn't know the outcome. There's that, you know, there's fear and uncertainty. If I take these steps to move away from one partner or the other, what will actually happen? It's a step in the dark. It's a step into the unknown. You can see here that he knows he needs to make changes, because he's moving from barren land to abundant land. You know, there's no growth here. Here there's flowers blooming and grass. He knows that regardless, he has to make a decision to step towards something more authentic and real. He knows that this three-way situation is untenable. It can't continue. Either way, it's got to be better to move forward, but he's still got to make a decision about which person. And it's that fear with this moon energy. This is the Six of Swords, by the way, so I didn't tell you the cards. Nine of Cups, King of Swords, Eight of Swords and Moon, Tower, Ten of Discs, Three of Discs, Six of Swords. So, you know, it's that trusting in self regards what he needs to do. He's trying to develop that trust. You see this masculine energy contained within the moon. And these animals, literally, these dogs here, literally howling at him to make a decision. You know, and the emotions building up. It's forcing this forward. He knows he can't ignore it. But the conflict and the indecision is born out of uncertainty. So let's get, you know, what's he thinking about you specifically? Okay, we've got Seven of Swords. We've got Four of Wands. We've got the Two of Wands. And we've got the Star. So this is beautiful, but there's something he's either not telling you, or there's something he's not acknowledging in himself, because the Seven of Swords is about deceit and betrayal. It doesn't always have to mean deceit and betrayal towards you or someone else. It could be, you know, the energy of fooling yourself. But you see this I love the Seven of Swords in this deck, because this gentleman is stood in the dark. Yeah, there's no colour here. He's got all 6 swords. Okay? He's got all of those 6 swords, but one of them, the 7th sword, is in the light. And you look how frightened he looks. He's scared. He's scared to grasp that sword in the light, the truth. And, you know, I do feel like he knows to move on from this three-way situation, someone's going to get hurt. Someone's got to get hurt. And I feel like this is, you know, he's got to grasp a truth, but it's almost like he feels like he can't win, and he knows he's being dishonest to both parties. I think this is facing his own betrayal, his own fear of what, you know, of this mess he's created for himself. But in terms of how he feels about you, you know, if you're that sword of truth in the light, this came up as what he's thinking about you. You know, he needs to grasp the sword of truth. And then we've got the Four of Wands, which is, you know, for me, a really twinny card. Traditionally, those four battens are upright, so it looks like 11-11. But here, you know, they're in this beautiful teepee, and everyone's happy. This is a very positive card for him to come up as how he feels about you, you know. And the Two of Wands is really about making that decision, stabbing your wand in the earth and choosing. So I feel like he's very close to that. And we've got the Star, which is hope, optimism. I do feel like whilst he's procrastinating, whilst he's full of uncertainty, in his heart he knows this is right. He knows that you're right. It's the fear of exposing his betrayal and actually facing the music that's holding him back. But this is a very highly evolved divine masculine that you've got on your hands. And look, that's just fallen out, the Ten of Cups. That's beautiful. So let's see what you can expect from him in terms of forward movement. So karmic cycles closing out. The King of Wands stepping into his own power. This is beautiful. The Lovers making a decision. And the Nine of Swords, anxiety. So the King of Wands is really stepping into his own power. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely that karmic wheel turning. But I'm really drawn to this card. If you watch a lot of my readings, you may recognise this card. It's my favourite Lovers card out of all the decks for twins, because I'm going to come up here to make sure you can see the detail of it. I really want to show it to you. You've got the divine here, okay? And they're channeling to the divine feminine. And if you look at the side that the divine feminine is on, everything's in bloom. She's got these geese here that represent unity and peace. Everything's in bloom. There's flowers on the tree, and the divine channels to her. She channels to the divine masculine. Look at his side. It's Barren. Okay. And this river is that river emotion that connects them, that flows between them. But by healing yourself, you heal him. Okay? But this card is also about choices. It's about decisions made. And I feel like he will be stuck in limbo for a bit longer with this. He'll be stepping into his spiritual power. He knows what he wants. But there'll be a lot of sleepless nights and anxiety about him figuring out how to do that. Swords are about that, getting mental clarity. And, you know, this is where his fears are, in these sword energies that have come up. So I don't think he's going to make a move anytime very soon, but he's moving in the right direction, and he's coming to terms with his truth. He's stepping into his spiritual power. So this is very positive. It's a very positive lineup. See what you need to do. Wow, this card's come up for nearly every deck, nearly every pile. Right. So we've got deep knowing. Trust your inner guidance. Trust your inner wisdom. Trust that by tapping into your intuition, you've got access to those spiritual messengers that are going to help you move forward and co-create. You've got a cheetah up here. I'm not sure what they represent symbolically, but I can't help be drawn to the you know, the other connotations with that word. Forget the animal, but cheetah. Yeah, this is what he's doing at the moment with his love triangle. And then you've got the owl. The owl that has a much greater perspective because it can fly. And the cheetah, this egg here, this egg which represents rebirth and change, has the cheetah spots on it. So I think you've got to be a casual observer. This is about co-creation, and it's also about forgiveness. I know you're angry with him for being stuck in this karmic situation, but you need to forgive and trust that that karma is what helps create your future. It's what helps create the path for you to move forward. And there may be chaos and conflict. And interestingly, look at this. You've got a zebra here, but he's got giraffe print. And when you look really closely, you can see the cheetah skin underneath. This is about peeling back the layers and facing the truth of who you are, facing the truth of the situation. And that can be painful, okay? So there may be a lot of triggers. This may, you know, you may have to go, he's certainly going to have that anxiety with that Nine of Swords energy. But it's time for you to face some big triggers as well. They're coming. That's what this Lionsgate portal does for us. And, you know, the guidance here, which is a number 9, this is the Hermit card. It's time to go within. When this comes to be, you've got to be ready to connect with your higher wisdom, to get that peace and comfort and that love, because it's going to be hard. I'm just being honest with you, yeah? But you're moving in the right direction. You've got to trust that, you know, creation requires us to learn the hard lessons as well. You know, nothing worth having is easy. You have to graft. If you build something wonderful, you're going to cry blood, sweat and tears. You're going to make sacrifices to get it. That's true of anything in life. And you have to trust that part of the journey, that it serves you. But step into your higher wisdom, your connection to the divine for that support. Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. Where are you being called to journey to? The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. And how can you mother yourself? This one's come up for all piles as well. Right. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution and expression. And I'm really guided to say that if you've been fearful of stepping into your power because of how others are going to perceive you, whether in your religious community, your family, your social group, let that go. Okay? Be authentic, be true to who you are. This is a vital part of your journey to accept self, because those emotions, you can see she's looking across at a raging sea and she's in a cave. She's hidden. The thought of crossing that raging emotion to the other side to be her authentic self is terrifying. So she's hidden in the cave and she's observing from afar, hiding her true self. And there's this, you know, powerful raging emotion. But if you look across the other side, there's this beam of light and stars, hope. Trust that you can be your authentic self, that by shining, in fact, sorry, I beg your pardon, that's not a light, that's a pyramid. But I was clearly meant to see it as a beam of light in that moment. Trust that your light can be shined on that situation in a positive way, that there's hope there, that you can still these waters. Yeah? Where are you being called to journey to? I felt very strongly when this came up another pile that you may actually be called to literally journey physically to a place, you know, to travel, to take a vacation or holiday, to go visit somebody, to go away on a course, to go to an event. There's something you need to go and do. It may be to go within. Okay, but pay attention to that call. Don't ignore it. You'll know what I'm talking about. You'll know what it is you're being prodded to do. And we've got this rite of passage here with crossing the threshold, you know, this journey across that ocean. So it may be going to visit friends or family that you can talk to about this, to be honest with them, to express yourself. It may be going to visit someone that's actually going to help deepen your understanding of this journey. It may be going on a course or to a class. But it's a rite of passage, it's an initiation, it's crossing that threshold. And both of these cards represent that. There's two sides with water in between, deep emotion. Star Mother, how can you mother yourself? This came up in all piles, I believe. And, you know, as I said, for the other piles, I posted on my community page about this yesterday. How do I love myself? How do you mother yourself? You treat yourself as you would a small child. You be kind and loving to yourself. You quieten that horrible voice inside your mind. Go and look at my community page because I posted about this yesterday. And it's an important facet of the journey, and you're going to need this self-love. You know, that's what that going within and finding it is. You're going to need it because you've got challenges coming. You know, this is the final furlong. You've got to go through this chaos and conflict to get out the other side. It's going to be worth it. That journey, that rite of passage will be worth it, but you're going to have to give yourself that love or it's going to be a struggle. So I really hope that helped pile 4. Really great reading today. I'm really pleased with that. It flowed beautifully. I'm feeling back on form. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, share and subscribe. As usual, if you would like a private reading from me, you can find information about how to do that below. And I will see you next time. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great evening. Bye.